Hi, this is the hip flexor and glute bridge video. The first part of doing glute bridges is stretching out your hip flexors. If you don't stretch out your hip flexors, you're going to end up, when you're doing the glute bridges, it could possibly hurt or irritate your lower back. The goal of this is to obviously get your pelvis to sit upright and to stimulate the hip flexors and hip extensors, which are the most powerful muscle groups in the body. So the first part of this is a hip flexor stretch. So my brother is in the stance. Now we're going to have him. We're stretching his left hip flexors. He's going to put his right hand on his right hip, and he's going to push across, and then kind of lean back, and kind of stretch that way. The hip flexor runs from the front of your leg through your hip into the base of your spine. So you need to sometimes play around with it till you get the right angle, and then once you find the right angle, it'll feel like a really good intense stretch. You want to hold that stretch for minimum 20-25 seconds. If you really like the stretch, you can hold it for up to 90 seconds. All right, so let's have you demonstrate just to the other side. You can feel that, right? Okay, just switch legs. Okay, do you feel it in your hip flexor?
Yeah.
Because if you don't feel it, you kind of lunge forward a little bit.
Yes.
There we go. And you just kind of rotate your shoulders, and you'll feel like that magic zone. You feel it stretch up through the top part of your leg,
Yeah, I feel it
into your hip, and almost into your spine. Okay, good job. Now we're going to do the glute bridge portion. Just now, I want you to lay on your back. Okay, now you're gonna breathe out and press your lumbar spine into the ground for 2 or 3 seconds. Perfect. Now I want you to inhale in and lift your hips as high off the ground as you possibly can. Okay, perfect. Good. You got a hip extension. Perfect. We want to squeeze that. We want to hold it for a 5 count, which is that's about it. Now you want to exhale. Just press your lumbar spine into the ground there. 2 or 3 seconds. Now breathe in. Come up. Contract the glutes. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. We want to do this with our natural breath rhythm. Exhale out. Come on up. Now you can really feel that in the glutes, right? You don't feel that in your lower back or your hamstrings, right?
No.
If you feel it in your lower back, it means you didn't stretch your hip flexors enough. If you feel it in your hamstrings, just stretch your hamstrings. This is a level 1 glute bridge. We start patients out with 2 sets of 10, or 1 set of 10, depending on how you're conditioning, and then you work your way up to 20, depending on what your doctor told us. This is the basic hip flexor stretch into a proper glute bridge. And you want to fight to get as much extension as possible, which means you want to get your hips as high off the ground as possible, and really, really squeeze those glutes.